Hey everyone, imagine arriving in New York City, not speaking English confidently, and needing to pitch yourself, not just to make a good impression, but to land a business partner or secure a job or just find an investor to trust you. That's a reality that many international professionals face, and it's exactly where my next guest comes in. So today, I'm interviewing Maria Anokhina. She's a founder of a company called Plan and Pitch. She's a communications and pitch coach who helps non-native English-speaking professionals and founders articulate their ideas really clearly and confidently and strategically, whether they're interviewing for global roles or just pitching investors for funding. This is such an interesting interview. I think you're going to love it. She has an incredible background. She's led cross-border projects for the United Nations, and then she decided to step into this entrepreneurial world. And so today she's blending what she calls discipline with entrepreneurial scrappiness to help her clients land offers, secure funding for companies they're starting, and close some deals, just using what she set up to be her simple accountability systems and what she calls her execution rhythms. So if you're new here, I'm Gale Bates, and welcome to my channel. This channel is your go-to resource for building a thriving business from home with ease, purpose, and clarity. And every week I interview entrepreneurs from around the world to bring you real conversation and those practical strategies as we entrepreneurs are always looking for on how to handle accountability and productivity that we're all facing in today's busy world, especially an online world, right? So don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you never miss an episode, especially if you love learning from other entrepreneurs who are truly building their dream businesses just like you. So you're going to love this conversation with Maria. She joined me from Dubai, and I live in Hawaii, right? And we managed to find that mutual time to chat about how Maria manages her business and life as an entrepreneur. And you're going to learn how she starts her day with Qigong for her morning practice, because that gives her the energy to get hard things done first. This is what she tells me in the day. So I do Qigong myself a few mornings a week, not every morning, but it really does get your Qi or your energy going. And I think I'm going to go back to it. And you know how I ask entrepreneurs how they schedule their revenue generating activities? We talk a lot about that. Well, Maria calls them value generating activities. And I just love that. It's a different way of looking at it, but her value generating activities are the ones she uses to pitch companies, investors, and even global organizations. You'll also hear her talk about her long-range vision plan. She has committed herself to building her business, and it's a 10-year commitment. And she's focusing, she's making sure she's disciplined, and what she calls daily forward momentum. We could all use that as entrepreneurs ourselves. Plus, we talk about how we met in a school community for YouTubers, which has been such a supportive space for collaboration. So the link is below if you want to explore that school community as well. There's so much value in this conversation with Maria Anokhina, and I can't wait for you to soak it all in. I'm so excited to meet you. You living in Dubai, and I'm living here in Hawaii. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, we can always connect. So welcome to my series.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Gale, to your series. And I'm excited to share, exchange, and learn as well about entrepreneurship and about your podcast. And let's keep it going.
So tell me a little bit about, what does a typical day? You live in Dubai. You must have a lot of clients around the world. So what does a typical day look like for you? How do you begin your day? How does it wind down? What is it? You prioritize your tasks. How does that work for you?
Okay, so I think one of the advantages of being an entrepreneur and having more or less schedule that you can organize yourself and flexible means that you can build your work and your day around your energy and around your focus. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about being an entrepreneur. And I'm a morning girl. I like to wake up early, and that also means that I have the biggest appetite in the morning, and I have the best focus in the morning. So, and I like to build my day this way, starting from the morning routine. I shared with you. I love doing qigong because this is something that fills me up, and I know that without being full with their energy, you won't be able to contribute into anything else. You won't be able to accomplish your tasks to have focus or to help your clients if you are not full yourself. So I always look for something in the morning. Okay, what will fill me up? And that's the routine that I established for the last couple of years. Yeah. And I always try to accomplish something harder in the morning. For me, that's something hard or creative. So for me, that's writing, filming, writing sales messages or sales emails, or maybe calling clients. I mean, of course, if it works with the time difference.
Right.
So I think that's when I have the most amount of energy to give and to accomplish the task. And that's when my brain quiets down, and I don't have to argue with myself like, oh, I'm afraid to do something. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should do it tomorrow. So I just try to, get it done.
I love that. I love that you start the day with Qigong. It's wonderful for your body and your mind as well.
Absolutely.
And starting the day with doing the hardest thing first, gets it out of the way, right? I love that. That's really great. So you work from home. How do you set up your workspace? How has that worked for you? Have you designed your home around that, or how do you make it support your efficiency?
Well, this is a good question. I think, of course, it's important to have a dedicated desk and the space where you work, especially when it's home, so you don't mix anything with work, like working at a table that you eat. Creates different type of feeling, different type of energy, and it becomes harder to accomplish maybe hardest goals. So I like to have a dedicated desk. And one of the most important things for me is to have a good vehicle, like a good computer, so that helps me to accomplish my task. Because, like, let's say editing or something like this takes a lot of energy. Takes a lot of memory out of the computer. So it's important to have this flow, so nothing just like little things don't irritate you, don't stop you, and just to keep going this way. And it also, the third thing I think for me is actually I'll show you. It's important to have this.
Yes. Blank piece of paper.
It's a piece of paper for writing down what you need to accomplish today, what you have in your mind, maybe what you need to plan out. I like to unload it on paper. I've noticed that it just helps to have more clarity.
Absolutely.
More clarity, and something magical happens when you connect your mind with your hand and with those actions.
Absolutely. I just wrote about that actually in one of my newsletters. I really believe that writing things down, the act of writing them down on paper, it is a magical thing. That is for sure. Yeah. Instead of always on a computer, it takes us away from that online, mental stuff that we're always.
Yes, exactly.
Always got to be online, right? So, you love to build accountability systems and actionable rhythms and helping your clients. So talk to us a little bit about how you work with that. What is it that really helps your clients when you work with these systems?
You mean in terms of accountability?
Yeah.
I think just like a mirror thing of because we coach clients in what we do right now in my business plan and pitch. We help non-native speakers to transfer to get the results in on job interviews. Then to pitch their startups and their projects and help them with the negotiations. So I think just the mere idea of having someone who you can talk, unload your thoughts, and express your difficulties and fear, that's already somehow creates accountability. If you ever worked maybe with the coach yourself and maybe with a friend, you talk with a friend, once you share something like your plans, that you're planning to do something, you're planning to improve with something, that's already by itself an accountability system. Of course, you can make it stronger by, for example, what we do sometimes, we create like a spreadsheet of like where you have to put a mark that you accomplished something for the day when you want to build their habit of, or like let's say overcoming your fear of speaking, and just this also mechanical actions of going somewhere and they're putting a check mark helps people to build their accountability, those little actions.
That is,
and sometimes people also need motivational talks.
right. Yeah.
When nothing works out and you're going through a hard time and you're down, motivational talks helps you out, especially when they come from someone who also has overcame a lot of difficulties and hardships in life.
Right. Yeah. I love that. And it's important for entrepreneurs to understand that. That's why I asked you that question, having that accountability system in place for entrepreneurs, because we are our own bosses and we need to set that up, right?
Yes.
And so your business Plan and Pitch, which I love the name of that. We talk a lot about as entrepreneurs growing our business, and we talk about growing our business with what we call revenue generating activities. What activities do you focus on in your business to grow your business? How do you decide where to invest your time for the biggest impact?
Okay, well, that's a very good question. Can I just reframe it a little bit?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what this is about. Just, sharing.
Yeah, so I think it's good to have your mindset for revenue generating activities, but I look at it a little bit differently. I look at it as something like, you have like a piece of pie and there is a piece that is missing, and someone else has this piece. So, and you're looking for this piece and another person can give you this piece, and that creates an exchange. And by having this exchange, you have the whole piece of pie. Therefore, I would call it not revenue generating activities, but value exchange or value generating activities. And I think to have that, first of all, what really important to me and what's really helped me out, that a lot of things that I teach my clients, I've already gone through them. So it's like I'm just a step behind, or it's like very fresh in my memory. Like, for example, I teach my own projects, I teach my own startup, I did fundraising work. I also came to New York and I didn't speak English very well, and I was afraid of my accent. I was afraid of my first job interview when I came, and it was all intimidating, and I was afraid of making a mistake in English, and instead of speaking, my brain just froze. So I have all of that experience, and I just share from my heart. That helps me to create content around it, and helps me to speak with people not as an expert or someone who tells you like theories and book studies or something like this, but something that I already have in my heart and something that I have overcame. So that really helps a lot. And building from that, the activities that I make, of course, like right now we are living in online world and creating content is important. I just started a YouTube channel.
Great.
So, and I started creating content for that. And I believe this will be a good platform to find people who are in need of those kind of exchange, I would say, who would find value in this experience and who are ready to jump on board. And I use also LinkedIn for lead generation, and I love creating partnerships. Like for example, before we worked with accelerators for startups. I was doing outreach and creating partnerships with them, and we are in the planning of working with the university. So currently it's in a test mode, and I'm building up a plan of an outreach campaign to the universities as well. So those, I would say, the activities, how you say, value generating activities that I build.
I love that, value generating activities. You've changed that around, and I like it because it is, it is revenue, but it is also valuable, which is great. And now, what is the name of your YouTube channel?
So my name is Maria Anokhina, and that's the name of my channel.
Right.
And there I teach world-class communication. So it's going to be, I just started, so there are only a few videos, and I'm also overcoming my own fear of speaking on camera, which I think will be another set of journey.
Yeah. No, that's great.
So, and over there,
we'll put the link to the below in the description as well for people so they can come and watch your YouTube channel as well. I always ask this question because it's a big question. As entrepreneurs, there's always a lot of challenges for us as entrepreneurs. So talk to me a little bit about what are your biggest challenges that you face as an entrepreneur? Is it where you live, or is it because you have to stay focused? How do you tackle these challenges and that keep your businesses moving forward? What do you think is the biggest challenges for you in keeping your business moving forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's every day is a challenge, right? Every day you face a new challenge. But I think to more or less generalize it and to have a good overview. So one of the biggest challenges is protecting my focus and not having sidetracks, because we are so overloaded with the information. It's like you start your day with an alarm on your phone and it already jumps into you. All the ads, content from different platforms. And it's very easy to get sidetracked from what you are doing. I think some people call it shiny object syndrome, where you see something like, oh, it might work for me as well, let me try. And instead of staying on track with what you've decided, what you've planned, what you're been building up, you get sidetracked. So that's one of the challenges. And I try to I start something. For example, plan and pitch. I thought to myself, am I ready to dedicate 10 years of my life to that? Mm-hmm. So, and I didn't do anything during that time. I was just thinking like, okay, am I ready or not for that? And once it clicked in my head that, yes, this is something I would like to do. This is something that I've done and I can share. And this is something that I get energized as well from talking to people and sharing ideas, sharing values, and they're helping them helping them grow basically, and helping them overcoming their own fears and achieving their goals. Then once it clicked in my head that I'm ready to dedicate 10 years of my life to that, it became easier to focus. And the first thing I did, I took this thing. Yes. And I wrote down like a plan for like just
Simple.
some milestones of what I would like to build, and I kept it on my desk. And I thought, okay, every now and then I would come back to it. Am I ready for 10 years or not? And once it clicked, and looking at this plan, I know that, okay, something doesn't work out, but I still have the time. It's not like I'm in a super rush. I need to do it tomorrow or something like this. So there is no desperation. There is just focus and action, like daily actions and direction that you're moving, and you understand, okay, so maybe I'm not running, I'm not like super fast, or I'm not driving on the car, like the super fast car, but I'm walking and I'm making the steps. And that's helped me to not to have this shiny object syndrome, and just to keep my focus. And wherever like maybe I get an idea or an ad or something like this, I'm like, okay, here is my plan. And I told myself, I promised to myself, I dedicate 10 years of my life to this.
Yeah, I love that. And that's basically, that's kind of like a goal setting process. Is that how you set your goals and set up, those steps, is making that plan? Is that part of your goal setting process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, it's very like 10 years is very far, and we need also shorter goals to keep us motivated and to understand are we on track or not. Yeah. So I have shorter goals as well, something that we call milestones, and I try to have milestones within this period of time, which of course helps you to be motivated, and also to stay on track and to understand, okay, so are you on the right path? Are you moving in the right direction?
Right. No, I'm a big believer in milestones. That's the energy that gets you to your goal, is the milestones between.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, well, you and I connected. I think we connected in a school group. I'm not sure.
Yes, this school community.
Yeah, that's right.
Alexa.
Yes, that's right. So what kind of networking and partnerships is part of your strategy to grow your business? Any specific ways that you network or collaborate with others?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good question. And I think it's very important to have I do believe into partnerships a lot, and I do believe that even as a small business, that you can get into big corporation or big organization, and you can generate value for them, and they become like your backup for credibility and for your status maybe, or to show clients, okay, so I worked with this and that organization, and what I like to do is I have like a list of companies that is broken down into type of company, or like what they do. For example, accelerators, or universities are not companies but organizations.
Yeah.
So I keep this list, and wherever I get an idea or I see something interesting, I fill out this list, and I also have a list of interesting people from LinkedIn who are part of these companies, and whenever I'm ready, I look for a person who I can reach out, whether it's in my network. I check my network whether someone can introduce me to this person, but if it's not, and like, let's say I saw someone who has been a director of the department, and let's say they wrote a post that kind of created a spark inside of me. So what I do, I find an email of this person and I write an email. And 9 out of 10 people reply.
Great. Excellent. Yeah. And that's how it all begins, isn't it? You have to reach out, and you have to be that person that collaborates and communicates with others. And so what is your ideal client? Who is your ideal client? Tell us a little bit about the person that you work with.
Okay, well, so currently we, before Plan and Pitch, worked with founders only, startup founders, and that was the tech startup founders. But now I've restructured and expanded our offerings into a more broader network, but in a more narrow way. So we target non-native speakers of English who are looking for opportunities abroad, and that can be they're looking for jobs, so they need their help on interviews. They're pitching their startups to venture funds or accelerators, and they need help to structure their presentations, structure their pitch decks. They need help to be able to answer the questions of investors, so they don't understand, for example, how this industry works. And they're also afraid of speaking English, or like they have a blockage, or they freeze out on calls. So that's where I come in and I help, because most of the time there is a lack of knowledge as well, but most of the time this is psychological reason that blocks you out from really speaking the language that maybe, yes, you're not a native speaker, but you're fluent, you understand what people are telling you, and you understand, and you can answer their questions. So that's
Well, it's basically learning how to speak.
Communication, yes. And I spent basically, like when I worked at the United Nations, everyone had an accent, and everyone was, communicating, writing reports, or having calls, or having meetings, and that was not a problem of having a productive work.
Right. Well, and as somebody who I've had an accent, even though I've lost a lot of it, but it is something that is very valuable to understand each other. That's a valuable service that you're offering. I love it. So I'm going to change this up a little. I want you to tell me a little bit about what we call your technology tools that you use in your business. We have to use them today. It's part and parcel of being in business.
Absolutely, yes.
What are some of the apps? Do you have any apps or software, whatever platforms you would recommend to other entrepreneurs that you use?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've already mentioned, I think I don't need to show it anymore, about the piece of paper and how much I love writing. But for example, like having a strategic overview of a project that we're working on, or I'm, for example, like building partnerships. It's also long and strategic project. So I like to plan it out in Asana or Asana. Maybe you've heard about this program. And an excellent platform that you and I are using right now is Zoom.
Yeah.
It's impossible to live without it right now. And for scheduling calls, I use Cal, CAL. It's called, because it can be integrated into your website. It's a little bit not as user-friendly as Calendly, but it can be integrated on your web platform.
Okay.
So those are great. And since I just started YouTube channel, I needed to learn how to edit videos, and I'm not good at that. So I came across of this technology called Descript, and it's wonderful. It's like it helps you out to remove some filler words, poses, and things like this. Because my first video, I was like spending hours and hours just to remove something little that I didn't like, and this platform just makes it seamless for you. So those are great tools.
Great. I'm sure. Yeah. I always ask that question because everybody has different apps and different platforms that they use. And sometimes it's a platform like I've been wanting to use Descript for a while, but I haven't I haven't gotten into it. And I hear a lot about how it's simple and easy to use. So I'm glad that's something that you would recommend for others as well.
Yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about, we call it professional development, which is how you continue to grow as an entrepreneur. Do you still take courses, or any books that you would recommend? What is it that you do to keep yourself in the game of entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you always need to learn and catch up on something, and there are always skills to develop. So wherever, for example, if it's something like a skill, a particular skill, like let's say I need to learn editing, or I don't know, like how to write or post on social media or something like this, I would always go for course because it's straightforward. You know, you just want something like a fast information, structured and organized, so you don't waste your time into going into different resources. So I would just look for courses on through YouTube or wherever those people. If I like the person who advertised their own course and I like their vibe, I would take their course for those skills.
Are there any special platforms where there are courses you go to, like Udemy? If you wanted to learn something, where would you go to learn it? What courses would you take?
Well, I used to have Coursera, but currently I just try to stick into, for example, I think of for myself what skill I need to learn and what skill I need to improve.
Yeah.
I go on YouTube. I just write the skill course to learn, and I just look through a couple of videos and try to find the person who I like the explanation, who I like the vibe, and if they have additional resources for the skill, I would go and learn their way.
That's great advice. I really love that, because as entrepreneurs, we're always learning, right? And there are always skills to learn, especially in today's world. There's always something new that we have to learn. And I think, just Googling it or whatever way, where would I learn, asking AI or whatever it is, and assessing what is going to be the best learning process for you, and then taking action on it, which is what we do as entrepreneurs. We love to learn as entrepreneurs. And I think that's what you described, this is just a small steps, but it is so important for us to know how to do that. Sometimes we sit here, how can I learn how to do this? Who would I ask? I mean, a lot of times I'll reach out to some people and say, who do you?
Yeah.
But it is sitting right there if we really want to go and find it ourselves. And I think that as we are researchers, we love to research and find out things ourselves. So I think you really gave some great advice there. So
I didn't think about this way. It's just been like natural. But you said that sometimes you reach out in the communities that you belong to, like if you have a network on LinkedIn, maybe Facebook, or like we are part of the school, asking people what have helped them out is also a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. So you have traveled the world, you lived in many countries, you're now living in Dubai, and you have this wonderful business. If you were to give advice to an entrepreneur who is just starting out, or any entrepreneurs, what would be the one piece of advice that you would share with them?
Okay, this is a very good and a philosophical question, I would say, because there is if you like go online and you go like advice for entrepreneurship, you'll find like a list of like 10 best entrepreneurship advices, or like 10 best t-shirts to wear as an entrepreneur, something like that. But I think you need to first of all zoom out and to understand where you are. To understand your reality, to understand where you're going, your destination. So you have those 2 points, point A, where you are right now, and point B. And you need to connect them, right? How do you connect them? What are you going to use? Do you have a good vehicle for that? Like, are you going to jump on a plane? Are you going to ride a car? to connect those points. And do you have a plan? Do you have a map to follow to point B? Are you ready for this journey? How long is this journey? What you need to think of? What do you need to take with you? Like maybe food or water. So what happens if your car breaks and you're somewhere in the middle of nowhere and you don't have water? So it means that you have to be prepared for this situation. And by having a good vehicle, I mean, like, do you have, maybe it's a very practical advice, but do you have enough health actually for accomplishing your goals, which is also very important. Like, for example, when I started entrepreneurship, it was very stressful for me and I was getting sick a lot, like, getting viruses and cold. So it affected my health. And I think it's very important to be super honest with yourself and not to jump on it too quickly and to think, like to have it in your head for some time and to think. But once you decide, just keep it going. Just keep going, keep going, keep going, and keep going.
That is such great advice. Such great advice for entrepreneurs because it can be daunting out there. But I like what you said. Have a plan, and know where you're going and what's going to be happening, and just keep going. So wonderful advice. So now you live in Dubai. So tell us what you do for self-care for you in Dubai. How does that work for you? How do you take care of you?
Well, I've already mentioned that I like doing Qigong practice. And for me, having this practice established is already a great self-care because it gives you so much energy physically and mentally, and it gives you so much clarity.
Yeah.
And I also like to have cold showers, for example, to have like a little bit of pump up of energy, especially in the mornings. It makes you feel like, okay, so I'm strong. I can do it. If I can take this cold shower, I can do anything in the world. And of course, like sport, like running, and I also like do yoga, and I like dancing as well, like the salsa dancing. Those things like and being outside somewhere and meeting people and investing into relationship as well in the communities really helps you out build up your character as well.
Do you belong to networking groups in Dubai that you meet people?
Well, I mostly, because my work mostly happens online.
Yeah.
So I don't have particular business groups, but I attend a lot of conferences over there because there's sometimes there's like just conferences, and then you keep going to the conferences, and the government, they make focus on organizing a lot of events and conferences. So that's the way you need a lot of people. And other than that, I try to have...
You must be very good at introducing yourself.
I wish, yes.
No, I mean, you're going to conferences and meeting people. That's great. And I think that's also great advice for entrepreneurs. It's, you've got to get out of your house or your home or your office.
Yes.
Yes. You've got to be face to face with people as well as being online. I think it's so important. Going to conferences, you're meeting a lot of people, different people.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yes. And, but like you need to have a balance, right? So, you also need to understand that networking takes a lot out of you. So it requires a lot of energy, a lot of communication. And so sometimes those events, they really wipe you out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
But
so go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you just mentioned this is an excellent advice that you just mentioned that you have to get out of your home, especially when you work online. And sometimes what I like to do, maybe one time per week or couple times per week, is just to go out to work somewhere, like in a nice cafe. And for example, when I lived in New York, I loved going to Bryant Park Library because it's a beautiful building and it always gave me inspiration. So wherever like I have a blockage of idea, like I don't know, like I'm how to write something or I don't know where to find information, I need to do some research, I would go to this library and I don't know what it is about it, but it always helped me to keep going.
So true. I mean, it's just walking out, or, sometimes like for me, it's just walking outside in the open. I live on a big ranch, so I can walk out in this open pasture. And just that is enough. It's taking that time to step out of your zone, I think it is. Or I can go for a walk on the beach, just whatever.
Oh, yes.
Or take your work to a beautiful library, like you said, somewhere that inspires you, that keeps you going, is such great advice for entrepreneurs. So thanks for sharing that. I think that's wonderful. Now, tell everybody a little bit about your business, how they can connect with you, how you can help them. We'll put all of those links in the description below so they can connect with you. So tell us that.
Well, yes. So, Plan and Teach is an agency that helps non-native speakers of English to apply for jobs, go through interviews, search for pitch projects and startups. We help you also in negotiations, and we help you to establish clear communication frameworks, so you don't freeze in conversations, you don't ramble, and you stay focused, clear, and you have a structure and framework. That has been very helpful to me in my journey as a non-native speaker abroad, and also it helped me to find opportunities, to find jobs, and to also pitch my own projects to investors. So the best way, we are currently restructuring our website, and the best way to connect with me will be on LinkedIn. I think you will share the links below on Gale's YouTube channel. And I'm building up our YouTube channel as well. So wherever you need free resources for clarity of communications. So I have upcoming videos of how to pass interviews when you're not native speaker of English. So there's like plenty of videos of how to pass an interview, but how to do it when English is not your native language, I think is not that many resources who can help you with this clarity and their creating frameworks and their structure.
I love it. I think, I had the saying, I always say, if we all could all speak each other's languages, we would all get along so much better. Okay. Helping with that, you're helping those people who need the help with their business in pitching ideas or pitching themselves, right, for a job or whatever it is. You're actually helping them and helping everybody be more successful in growing their business or growing themselves if it's a job that they want. And I know that with your experience working at the UN, right, for all those years, you probably, how many languages do you speak?
Well, fluently, I only speak English and Russian, but I also worked in French and Spanish, and I lived in Germany. I had to learn German as well. And I learned Portuguese for just pleasure. And currently I am learning Chinese, so I'm crazy a little bit.
See, that's connections. That's how people who are looking for your services can find those connections, because you have the expertise in those languages and being able to help them with them pitching their plan or themselves if there's something because you do work with also individuals who are looking for jobs, right? As well as businesses. Yes. I love it. Okay, Maria, I think you have a great service that you're helping people around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you today for being on the call. And it's really lovely to meet you. And I know we've all learned a lot from you. So thanks so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Gale, for having me on your podcast. And this is actually my first podcast, and I'm still working on, speaking on camera and having those interviews and recording videos. But I loved how our conversation went today and the questions that you asked. And I really hope that there is some wisdom and some values that people who come to your channel will get out of it.
I'm sure they will. Well, what do you think? I have 3 gems of wisdom from this interview with Maria. First, get crystal clear on your ideal client. Maria knows exactly who she serves. Do you know? If you listen closely, she serves non-native English speakers seeking global opportunities who need clarity and the confidence to communicate effectively during interviews or pitching at meetings. She's very, very clear on who she serves. And it's this clarity that is a great reminder for us as entrepreneurs, because when you know exactly who you're helping, you attract the right people to your business. And the second gem I came away with was to beware the bright, shiny object syndrome, right? And Maria shared that this is one of her biggest challenges. And I think so many of us entrepreneurs can relate to this, because when you have endless possibilities, your focus has to become your superpower. You have to stay on the path. So my question for you today is, how do you stay focused when you feel yourself drifting towards that next shiny thing? I know you do it because I do it too, but leave me a comment below. And the third gem I love was how she recommends changing your environment just to spark inspiration. Her advice was simple, and it was really quite brilliant. Take your work to a cafe or a beautiful library or any space that inspires you. Could even be your backyard, because sometimes we just need a fresh environment just to create the momentum we need to keep going, right? So I want you to be sure to check the links below to connect with Maria, especially if you or someone you know could use her expertise to confidently plan and pitch their next big opportunity. And don't forget to show her YouTube channel some love by subscribing to it. And of course, if you're not subscribed here yet, now's the perfect time. Next week's entrepreneur is joining us from the Netherlands, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.